Higher property tax rates for non-residents of Iowa to own farmland than for Iowa residents to own farmland. This is a proposal that's being proposed by more than one, actually two right now, gubernatorial candidates in the state of Iowa. The election is a year from now, November of 2026. The leading Democrat, Rob Sands, has proposed this. A Republican that entered the race named Zach Lawn has gone one further. He says not only should we charge these out-of-state property owners more, that farmland that they're being taxed prohibitively for, that new money should go to set up a program to help young farmers get started. So now we've not only confiscated others' wealth and done so at a different rate than if they happen to have a residence in Iowa, now you're also creating a privileged welfare class. A farmer, or a young farmer as it were, who knows how you're going to define that, and you will face discrimination lawsuits, and it's maybe not even constitutional, A, the tax rate, or B, to confiscate the wealth and give it to farmers. But even if it were, have you thought about the ramifications? You're going to be knee-deep in young Iowa farmers that now want this gravy train of money. Let's talk about the other unintended consequences of this proposal, which is an asinine proposal, frankly, because it will end up being very bad. I'll tell you why. First off, you're going to do wealth redistribution. Okay. Happens a lot in government. Usually ends up picking winners and losers. Let's talk about where this goes. You're seeking to solve a problem that is economic. Young people can't get into farming, so let's confiscate wealth from somebody that lives in Arizona that owns a farm over here in Cedar Rapids and give them that money. Okay, you just created winners and losers. You know what else you did? You sought to solve a problem for farmers. But what about other businesses? What about the young Iowan that wants to own 3 McDonald's franchises, doesn't have the money for that? Are they going to be qualifying for something that you steal wealth from some other property owner and give it to them? Why just farmers? Going to have a lot of blowback from other young people that aspire to have their own business. Let's talk about capital. Capital goes where it's treated well. Money goes where it's treated well. There will be a flight of capital away from Iowa that says, you know what, we tried to invest over there, but they don't want our money. They want to prohibitively tax us. So we'll just go somewhere else. Bad for Iowa's economy. You're saying, yeah, but it'll bring down land prices. And that way, young people can buy farm ground. Okay. What about the hundreds of billions of dollars of held asset that maybe your brother Larry or your grandma Mary owns, and now because of the flight of capital and bringing down the farm prices to make it more affordable for those young people, you also just peeled 40 or 30 or 60% off of the asset price that's on the balance sheet for somebody you know. Now they want to go and get a loan to farm next year, but they can't. You know why? Because you just took a couple of $1 million off of their balance sheet. Didn't think about that, did you? Let's go through another angle on this. If you punish capital, if you punish the money that wants to come to Iowa, these people tend to be connected. They donate to politicians. They can influence outcomes. You know who gets really good treatment in terms of the tax code? Farmers. Now imagine when the farm people, the farm community wants to punish big capital. Who do you think wins that battle? When all of a sudden they go to the Des Moines State House or even to Washington, D.C. and say, you know, all those farmers in Iowa have been propped up by subsidies that we pay for, all these price guarantees, crop insurance that we subsidize, and they wanted to bite us and make us so we can't be investors in their state? Screw you, agriculture. We're going to go ahead and change the rules. No more generous estate tax planning, no more rapid depreciation, no more ability for you to wash all of your income so you don't pay income taxes. Who gets hurt there? Let's talk about a couple other unintended consequences that I see. Only Iowa for Iowa. Have you thought about the fact that you are the same state that went to court and said California can't decide how pigs are raised in Iowa because we don't think that's right? Now you're telling the California person they can't do business in your state. You want to do business in their state, but not by their rules, and now you're not going to let them do business in your state unless they follow your rules. Have you thought about the hypocrisy, political or otherwise? Let's go through another aspect of this. The absolute complexity of it is going to create a tremendous amount of workarounds. Remember, money also knows how to get a return and to avoid penalization. So what's going to happen? There will be owners that are Iowa residents to appease and to meet this obligation, but the money might still come from somewhere else. Remember, when there's this many complexities and this much fervor, but there's also the money that wants to go somewhere, there will be workarounds, and the complexity is going to end up creating a whole big bureaucracy that ultimately doesn't prevent. If the money wants to be in Iowa because there's a return there, it will end up being there. It'll just go through workarounds. I'm Damian Mason. I speak on stages all over North America and right here online about the world's most important industry, the business of agriculture. I know it's a long one, but it's a complicated issue that a lot of people haven't thought about. Higher property taxes for out-of-staters versus those Iowans sounds neat at first, but there's a lot of tentacles. Thank you for tuning in.